Wind chills between 0 and 10 degrees. Cloudy tonight with a low of 5 degrees. Wind chills between 0 and 10 below 0. Tonight, a north wind at 15 to 25 miles an hour. Thursday, sunny with a high of only 18 degrees. Wind chills between 0 and 10 below 0. North-northwest winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Friday, sunny with a high in the mid-20s. Looking to the weekend, cloudy on Saturday, a high of 30, and partly sunny on Sunday, but a high only in the mid-20s. Across central Illinois, as we start this Wednesday morning, partly cloudy skies. Temperatures right now in Bloomington at 28 degrees, 28 in Hayworth, 29 in Leroy, 31 in Farmer City, 33 in Champaign and Monticello, also 33 in Decatur, 29 in Mount Pulaski, 28 in Lincoln, 29 in Springfield, 25 this morning in Peoria. 33 degrees under cloudy skies in Clinton. It feels like 25 degrees outside. Northwest winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour this morning. Right now, 82% humidity with 10 miles of visibility this morning. Get the latest in local weather at DeWittDailyNews.com.
From regional radio, DeWittDailyNews.com, and the WHOW app. This is local information making a difference.
Top of the morning, 10 minutes after 7 o'clock here on this Wednesday. Coverage of news is brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters. Children under 5 years old will have a chance to begin building a personal library thanks to a program from a nonprofit based in Macon County. The United Way of Decatur and Mid-Illinois is expanding the program. Dolly Parton's Imagination Library to DeWitt County. Director of Marketing Ryan Huffer indicates it goes live Thursday, and children 5 and under are eligible to receive free books every month through this program.
Yeah, we're super excited to be launching Dolly Parton's Imagination Library in DeWitt County coming up on Thursday. The event's going to happen at the Visitations Warner Public Library. It's a really cool literacy program. It's already active in Macon County, so actually we're just expanding it, to be honest. It's been super successful here. We know it's going to be successful in DeWitt County, so very excited to have it launched. The literacy program is pretty simple. All we do is we deliver free books every month to children that are in DeWitt County. All you need to be eligible is to be under 5 years old and be a resident of a DeWitt County zip code. It's that simple. The books will be delivered once per month. They're high quality. They're age appropriate. And honestly, it's just really cool that we're going to start building home libraries for these families. And again, this is completely free to the families. All they have to do is sign up, and then books will start arriving within about 6 to 8 weeks, and then from then on, again, it's coming once per month.
Huffer explains they will have information about the program all over the county in the coming weeks about how to register. He adds there will be registration information in those brochures, but you can also register via the United Way website.
Yeah, so we're partnering with the library because obviously they also are pushing for literacy for all families, and especially starting young. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the library. We're just hosting the launch at the library because it makes sense. But the books will be coming directly to the families' homes. What we do is you can register using a brochure. So we'll have several locations in DeWitt County where we're going to leave brochures, and then families can just fill those out. Then they'll need to be mailed back to our office in Decatur. Or we also have a website that you can go to, and then you can sign up online. So all it's going to do is ask for some information from the families pertaining to the child. So we just need to know the child's name, where the child resides, what their age is, and then also we get some information about the parents as well so that we can contact them if we need anything regarding the registration. So you can go online, you can fill out a brochure, and then again, the books will be coming directly to the family's home.
As the program gets introduced in DeWitt County, Huffer explains they will be seeking out partners in the community to help support the program. He notes it's a very expansive program and there's quite a cost to it, so they'll be seeking businesses, individuals, and groups to support them.
We're going to launch with a capacity of about 100 kids right now. That's about what we have available, but we are seeking active partnerships with individuals, businesses. I think that we expect people to step up and want to support the program after seeing what it's all about. And, that's my job, to just get the word out and start getting more families signed up. And I think the word will start getting around about this if we find the right people. But all you have to do is just reach out to us. I mean, we're very excited to work with anybody on this. If it's as simple as you just want to learn about the program so that you can talk about it. If you see these of people. If you're working with children under 5, give us a call. And if you want us to come and talk about the program, and maybe you can even have some brochures or share our links on your Facebook page or your website, we're obviously happy to do that. I mean, I want to reach out to the county libraries. That's obviously a first step, because we know that people that go to the library already know the value of reading. So they're, of course, probably going to share this program with, people that are eligible. But other than that, we definitely do need monetary assistance as well, because it does cost to get this program, and it does cost to buy the book. There's probably about 500 or so that we could probably reach. That might be the end goal. We don't know exactly how many kids are eligible. There's numbers that are floating around that it's, probably about 900 kids in DeWitt County are under 5 right now. But the foundation, and from what we've seen, only about 60% are probably going to sign up when you're at your max capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for a number of reasons. So that is about 540 kids or so. So if we got to that number, we'd be super excited. And again, that will just require that we do get some community partnerships. So just reach out to us, and we're happy to speak with anybody about it.
This Thursday, again, the program goes live. Visit imaginationlibrary.com for more information about the program, or visit uwdecatur.org. For the first time ever, a woman leads the Illinois Association of Agricultural Fairs. Jill Hardesty of Farmers City has spent a long time on the county fair circuit.
Oh, it's a huge challenge. I've been on my local fair board at Fisher Community Fair in Champaign County. I've been there 30 years now, so it's pretty interesting. And this whole COVID thing, everybody, I think it's going to be around for a while. So we're just going to have to grin and bear it and do it the best we can.
Hardesty began her term as president of the Illinois Association of Agriculture Fairs over the weekend as the group held their annual meeting in Springfield. Are the increases in anxiety and depression the symptom of a greater cause? That's a question posed by Piatt County Executive Director Tony Kirkman, who wonders if those things are a greater symptom of trauma exposure COVID has brought to bear.
I'll tell you, Seth, one of the things that has my interest is obviously COVID and the impact of mental health. We see particularly concerning is the growing amounts of anxiety and depression that's being reported, mostly in our youth, but also in the adult population. And so, as I was briefly mentioning to you off air, is it possible that, yes, we're having anxiety and depression going up, but it's more of a symptom of a much bigger cause? And so is it possible that because of COVID and all of the negative social aspects that COVID has brought along with the physical distancing and the smaller social gatherings, is it potentially COVID has acted as a way as trauma, and the entire community is trauma exposed, and we're just now emoting out of all of the negative attributes of COVID?
On the WHOW morning show yesterday, Kirkman wondered if an aspect of learned helplessness is starting to set in. He says this is a mentality that no matter what a person does, their circumstances are not going to change.
Is it possible that our community is saying, no matter what I do, no matter what I read, no matter what steps I take, my consequences of COVID are going to be whatever they are? And I think what you're doing is what we try to encourage people from a mental health standpoint is to eliminate that internal, to strengthen that internal locus of control. Simply what that says is that I can do things that will change my situation. Mm-hmm. And so that's an idea of control and predictability. And so you're saying, hey, yes, I can do things to help my mental health. I can go to the gym. I can continue to find the safe ways to socialize. I am not going to allow an external threat to change my internal disposition. Mm-hmm. And so I think exactly that: control, hope, perspective. I say something that really kind of turns a lot of people the wrong way when I think of, okay, yeah, there's been some horrible things about COVID, but what gifts has COVID brought along? Mm-hmm. And gifts have shown us the importance of social integration. It has shown us the importance, for my field, of telehealth. It has brought a lot of collaborative efforts throughout healthcare. So there are gifts of COVID, if I could be as bold to say.
Kirkman expressed his deep concern for our youth because of the lack of play that they have had in the last few years. He explains playing with their peers is a huge part of the development of a child.
It's something that I'm looking at as a director of a mental health center with clinicians and case managers that are burnt out already because they've got their own issues, plus they're trying to walk people through their journey, is play. We need to play more. And some of the things that you're reading out of children's mental health is sadly because of the way that the education system has been laid out for COVID. And, you know, the teachers are doing and the administrators are doing a wonderful job. But we've sadly had to limit the amount of play, which is extremely helpful for neuroplasticity in the brain. It teaches us social integration. It teaches us a baseline to be able to have a more calm sense of mood. And so if you remember a couple of years ago, we had the caution tape wrapped around the playground because you couldn't touch anything. And I'm very, very concerned that we are becoming a community that has lost our ability to play, even as adults, if we think about it. I was talking to in a conversation yesterday with a local school administrator, and I found it fascinating that we're talking about the absence of play, absence of social integration. And this administrator said that it was quite interesting that some of the typical skills that would be taught in kindergarten of, you know, be quiet, line up, all of those social cues, they're having to be taught at the second grade level because they missed those natural benchmarks in development. So again, the brain is a muscle. And so you work it out, you stress it out, you need a little bit more time for it to rest so that it can rebuild itself. That's why sleep is so important. And so my concern is that we're exposed to stress, exposed to trauma, exposed to just the daily grind, never letting that muscle rest to build itself back. If you think about what last year was, it was no play. We didn't have band. And so what does that look like? What does it look like that kids have missed out on 2 years of natural social progression, spring dances, proms, dating, large pep rallies? We missed all of those natural social components.
For Kirkman, this trauma has caused people to become more irritable and more confrontational. He believes a lot of people have lost the grit they could tap into before COVID.
I think that we're irritable and we're rubbing on each other. I have professionals in my office that are rubbing on each other more than normal. Have you thought about how often our community has been gaslighted right now? I mean, we're offended about everything. And if not, we'll make up something to be offended about. And so my concern is that we're losing self-control. We're becoming just creatures of impulsivity. And so, you know, I'm guilty of that. Things that would happen at work, things that would happen at home would normally roll off of me because it's not a big deal. Well, I have a more thin layer of self-control, self-regulation. And so I emote and normally have to apologize to individuals with that. But I think you're exactly right, Seth. I think that we're just thin. We are, my opinion, we are trauma exposed, and we have had very little time to build back that natural reservoir of self-control. Again, if you read, there's a lot of other books out there that talk about why are some kids that are in crime-ridden, low socioeconomic status able to achieve, and they use this terminology called grit, and it just means bad things happen, but I'm still going to be able to make it better. And I think it's that resiliency of I can take the old adage, you know, I can take a licking and keep on ticking.
We're all going through this situation together. Kirkman encourages anyone who feels they may need the added outside perspective to seek out clinical help. He's been reading a lot about the correlations between gut health and mental health and says there is research to suggest when we are anxious or depressed, we feel it in our gut. He encourages people to slow down the self-medicating and get some sunlight and move around. Monday, Aurora Mayor Richard Irvin added his name to an increasing list of challengers to Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker's re-election bid next November. State Representative Dan Calkins says on the surface, Mayor Irvin, who registered as a Republican, looks like a strong candidate, but says some of his prior voting records are suspect, and he has made some controversial comments in support of his potential opponent next fall.
He made a very strong statement in support of Black Lives Matter on a candidate questionnaire. when he ran for re-election. An organization sent out a questionnaire, and he followed up on that. And one of the questions was about that subject, and he made a very, very strong statement, wrote a very strong statement in support of the Black Lives Matter, and that is concerning. I don't know exactly if that is the deal breaker, but here are some of the things that we can tick off. I mean, he was, I guess, an active participant in Governor Pritzker's last campaign, photo ops, and maybe, I'm not sure how you explain that away, but a lot of times elected officials will take pictures, with the governor or another prominent elected official in their official capacity. And he was the mayor. So perhaps, he wasn't that supportive of Governor Pritzker, but that's going to come out, I think.
The Decatur Republican says his other relationships with other Illinois Democrats could be problematic for his campaign. Calkins did offer a bit of compassion, as he is the mayor of a major city in Illinois and would want to maintain positive relationships with Illinois delegates in that capacity.
But the problem is, again, goes back to Mayor Lightfoot, Mr. Irvin, or Mayor Irvin. And it's his own statement on Facebook. I mean, you can't escape these things. And he says, I'm looking forward to collaborating with her in the future on a number of initiatives, harmful maybe on its surface or not, but there's implications. I mean, it's all of these things. And then, he supported Congresswoman Lauren Underwood, a Democrat who, claims to be a nurse. She may have a degree of some sort, but, she is a very liberal Democratic congresswoman. Then his affiliation with Senator Duckworth, who's also a Democrat, obviously from Illinois, and his relationship with the senator. Mm-hmm. And some of that I think could be laid at the feet of being a mayor of a large city in Illinois and having to work with all sides. But it appears, though, there's a pattern of involvement that causes some conservative Republicans to question.
Chicago billionaire Ken Griffin is backing Mayor Irvin and a slate of Republicans to challenge in several offices. Representative Calkins questions the need for Griffin to step in and finance these candidates when there are already good candidates seeking the nomination.
And now we have a multi-billionaire guy's net worth is, I don't know, they said $28 billion. I don't know if that's true or not, but certainly he has a lot more money than J.B. Pritzker. Somehow getting tied in with this consulting group who's run campaigns in Illinois before, some successfully, obviously. And I don't know what they've sold him. I don't know what the promise that they've made to Mr. Griffin to get him to invest tens and tens of millions of dollars into their operation. I look at Gary Rabine, a candidate for governor who is a conservative, businessman, never went to college, went right to work after high school, and has built up a large company who's willing to serve. I look at Jesse Sullivan, little suspect, but here's a guy who's from a small town in central Illinois who wants to be the governor and is out there putting himself and his family out there. Paul Schimpf served honorably in the military, was at Saddam Hussein's trial, served a term as Illinois State Senate, a very bright lawyer. He's out campaigning for governor on the Republican ticket, where he stands. He's a conservative. And of course, not last but not least, is Illinois Senator Darren Bailey, who has figured out, I think, how to win a Republican primary. And when you see the establishment Republicans running around trying to find a candidate at the last minute to inject into this race, you wonder why.
According to Representative Calkins, he believes establishment Republicans in Illinois do not believe in Senator Bailey, or they're afraid of him. Either way, he points to Mayor Irvin's stance on immigration as another issue he does not align with Republicans on. It is 28 minutes after the hour. A quick break. Plenty more to get to coming up on the WHOW Morning Show.
New trucks and SUVs are coming here at Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton. This is Scott Baum. Yes, we have new inventory arriving, and you can see what will arrive right on our website. Just click on the pre-order and reserve tab. From there, you will find vehicles in transit and vehicles in production. Or just call our sales staff and we'll help. Find Silverados, Equinoxes, Blazers, including Tahoes and Suburbans, as well as our complete Buick line of SUVs. BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
28 minutes after the hour. Again, I'm Seth Lawrence with you folks today for this expanded local newscast. 2021 proved to be a good year for combine and tractor sales. Kurt Blades is with the Association of Equipment Manufacturers.
Well, 21 continued to be, growing on what 2020 was. It's a pretty good year for ag equipment sales, specifically tractors, but combines have also been pretty solid as well. For December 2021, we ended the year up about 10% across the board on all categories, with some real strength in the percentage of growth in the larger horsepower tractors, as well as the articulated four-wheel drive tractors.
Combine sales were up 24% last year, according to AEM data. Coverage of news this morning brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters. Get news anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.